I observed that my dad was on the ground with 8 people around him. They were stabbing him, kicking him, hitting him with a brick, anything that they could do to hurt him or almost kill him.
He's on probations for a weapons case and 2 felonious assaults. I mean, it's clear to me that he's a danger. And put on your tough guy face, put on the face you have when you're walking around with weapons and doing whatever else you're doing. Because listen to me, if you walk into Wayne County Jail crying like you are right now, you'll have a rough time.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
All right. This is 251689FY and 251660FY, the People versus Gavin Bruce.
Good morning, Judge. I was wondering for the people, P number P86590.
And
good morning, Your Honor. Alyssa Segura with the Neighborhood Defender Service, P86432, appearing on behalf of Gavin Bruce, who stands to my right. Mr. Bruce, state your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. Gavin Bruce.
all right, it's a time and date set for preliminary exam. Are we proceeding?
Judge, so I have brother counsel did tell me that if we held in testimony so reflected that they would be adding assault with intent to murder. And I've advised Mr. Bruce of his right. I went over everything that could have been argued at exam, but with the possibility of this AWIM, Mr. Bruce does not want to take that risk. He's advised of his right to waive the preliminary examination. If we waive, the charges will remain as is, from my understanding.
Is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
So we, at this time, are going to waive the preliminary exam.
All right, can I voir dire your client?
Absolutely.
Mr. Bruce, did you understand everything your attorney just said?
Yes.
So a prosecutor has a right, especially if they give counsel notice, and Ms. Segura has indicated they have. If the evidence comes out in an exam to support higher charges, the people can move to amend the charges to add that count. And it sounds like that's what the prosecutors indicated they would be doing on this case. You understand that?
Yeah.
All right, that doesn't mean the evidence would show that. It just means there's a potential that could happen. You understand that?
Did say verbally.
Yes.
Okay, she has to type down what you say. So she can't type down head nods. So based on that, and we're talking about the case specifically, the felonious assault cases.
Yes.
And that is on 1660. Sir, you understand then that you have a right to a preliminary exam?
Yes.
And you understand at that exam, the prosecutor would have to show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime?
Yes.
And you understand if you waive that exam, you'll be bound over to Third Circuit Court on the charges as written in the complaint and warrant?
Yes. Now I'm understanding it more now. Because I was just being told that I'm gonna get a charge added if I do this.
If no testimony is taken, they can't add charges without a officer coming in and swearing to it and being able to establish probable cause. But if they bring in witnesses and the witnesses testify to something that would support a higher charge, then it could be added. So if you waive the exam, what your attorney's indicated is the prosecutor saying we're not going to add these additional charges. But if you hold the exam, the prosecutor, if the proofs or the evidence supports it, they could add charges. Does that make sense?
I think he wants to hold down, Judge.
So you understand they can add an assault with intent to murder.
Yes,
And you understand that's a life offense.
I do.
Okay, and you understand right now, sir, that you're charged with a felony that's only maximum is 4 years.
Yes.
And you understand that can be amended by the prosecutor to a life offense.
Yes.
Okay, he's got a right to an exam. That's a gamble. All right, any preliminary matters before we start taking testimony?
We do have Woods that we wanted to put on the
Oh, yeah.
record.
We can do that really quick if you want.
What's that?
Woods, it's scheduled for this afternoon, but if we want to handle it now, that's fine.
And so areas.
Oh, he did. You got it covered.
All right, Woods. I don't have it. Is Mr. Woods here?
He's in custody, Judge. He's the one
Okay,
that was found.
so we'll do that after this.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, and then I've got another case, the malicious destruction of a building. Are we holding on that as well?
Yeah,
Okay, are these separate incidents?
Yes, Judge.
It was while he was in the jail after the arrest of the.
So are we going to do them in one transcript?
I don't believe.
No,
I mean,
Judge,
no.
can we do them separate?
Okay, all right. Any other preliminary matters on the felonious assault case?
No,
No.
Judge.
All right, Madam Prosecutor. Call your first witness.
Yeah, well,
Mr. Prosecutor,
Yes,
call
thank
your
you,
first
Judge.
witness.
The people call, Jerry Gallup.
Can you spell the last name?
Yes, Judge. Gallup.
Okay. Is someone getting him? Do we need someone to get him? I'm sorry, the court officer can get him.
Down
Down spring.
Okay. Mr. Gallup, can you come on up to the witness stand here? This is on 251660. And sir, can you stand and face me and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, have a seat, sir. Sir, I want you to start by saying your first and last name and spelling your first and last name. And hold on, before you do that, there's an individual in the courtroom, a woman in the courtroom, and she here is a witness.
Judge, that is, Mr. Bruce's mother. She was not a witness to the offense. If this goes to trial, I do not anticipate calling her as a witness.
Okay, all right, I just want to make sure. All right, go ahead. Say and spell your first and last name.
Jerry Gallup.
Okay.
Jerry, last name Gallup.
Okay, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Good. We're still at the morning. Thank you, Mr. Jerry. Were you at the location of 5990 Hampden, Taylor, Michigan, 48180 on the date of 06/02/2025?
Yes.
And that's in County of Wayne?
Yes.
And what were you doing at that location?
I just got back from the gas station from getting chocolate milk.
And what happened next?
I got attacked by 8 individuals.
What's at Hampton?
My house.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge. And do you see one of those persons in the courtroom today who you were attacked by?
Yes.
Objection, Judge, lack foundation.
he asked him, he said he was attacked by 8 individuals.
I
Is
would
it,
like further.
I think you're fine.
Thank you,
Oh.
Judge. Can you please point to that person and identify a piece of clothing they're wearing?
Red plaid, shirt.
Please let the record reflect the witnesses identify the defendant.
Record shall so reflect.
And during this attack, what happened to you?
I basically got stabbed and a brick smashed into my side.
And when you say you were stabbed, where were you stabbed?
On the left arm, forearm, and the right back arm.
And did you seek medical treatment for where you were stabbed?
Yes.
What medical treatment did you get?
I got up to 10 stitches. I believe it was either 9 or 10. And I got CT scans for the back for the 10th rib fracture.
And do you see the person in the courtroom today who stabbed you?
Yes.
Can you please point to that person? Please let the record reflect the witnesses identify the defendant as the person who stabbed him.
Record shall so reflect.
And so when you say you were stabbed in your forearm, why were you stabbed in your forearm? What were you doing?
I was trying to block my chest.
So when you were being stabbed, you were using your forearms to block him, the defendant?
That's leading.
Sorry, Judge.
Ask him
Yes,
to
Judge.
tell you.
Describe to me how you were interacting with the defendant.
Can you explain that more in detail?
What were you doing with your forearms?
I was blocking my chest
And you're blocking your chest, why?
because I seen him stabbing down at me
And where are you at this point when the defendant is stabbing you?
in front of my house,
And-
5990 Hampton Street,
Where are you positioned?
on the ground.
And is the defendant on top of you?
Yes,
And at the time the defendant is on top of you, he is stabbing you.
yes, there was 2 individuals on top of me.
And During this altercation with the defendant, did he use another weapon against you?
A brick
And where did the defendant hit you with a brick?
on the left side
And during
Left
this,
side of what?
of my
Point to
back,
the area.
of my back rib.
Record should reflect the witness is pointing to his, lifting his arm and pointing to his rib cage on the left side.
and during this time, what emotion did you feel?
It was fear. It was scared for my life.
And was the defendant saying anything when the defendant was stabbing you?
All I seen was them smiling.
And when you were being attacked, did somebody come aid you?
Yes, my son.
And what did you observe your son do?
He got them off of me from trying to kill me.
So you were unable to get them off of you yourself.
Correct.
And after this incident occurred, what did you do?
I ran back up to the house to the porch.
Did you contact the police?
My wife did, yes.
And did the police arrive?
In 20 minutes, they did. It felt like 20 minutes. I think it was like 20 minutes.
One moment, Judge. How long of a blade was the knife?
I couldn't tell. It was dark and everything happened so fast.
No further questions, Judge.
Judge, is it okay if I stand here? My computer is plugged in.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you. Mr. Gallup, on the night of this incident, you indicated that there were multiple people involved, correct?
Correct.
You said that there were 8 altogether?
At least 8.
At least 8, okay. And these individuals you were coming home from getting chocolate milk, is that what you said?
Yes.
These individuals, when did you first see them, I guess?
As I was turning left onto the Hampton Street, there was 2 individuals that was running across the street, paying attention to the opposite side of the oncoming traffic. They ran almost into the front of my vehicle where I had to swerve into oncoming traffic to avoid on hitting them.
Okay, so your car almost hit these individuals?
Yeah,
Were you drinking that night?
no,
Okay. When you got home, did you pull into your driveway?
I pulled into the side of my house.
The side of your house?
Yeah, I live on a corner street.
So was it just like you pulled your car into the street, like next to the curb?
Like basically right in front of my driveway.
Right in front of the driveway? Okay, understood. But so your car was on the street?
Yeah, on the side of the house.
Okay. And did you get out of your car immediately and go towards your home?
Yes, I ran to the back door because it's on the side of the house.
You ran to the back door?
Yes,
Okay. And the individuals who you alleged to have attacked you, they were not in your yard at that time?
I don't know because I'm on the side of my house. The front of the house is around on the other
Okay.
side.
And did you enter your home?
I couldn't enter to the back door because it was locked. I had to
Okay.
yell through the back window.
And then did you just go into the front door?
I ran to the front of the house.
Okay. And did you enter your home at that point?
I couldn't run into the home at that point because they were already right there.
So you couldn't have just walked into your house and shut the door?
No,
Okay. And there were other people in your home, is that correct?
correct.
Your son?
Yes,
And you yelled for him to come outside, isn't that correct?
through the back window.
Okay. And so he had time to come outside, is that correct?
He had time to come to the front door and try to unlock it, but at that time I'm already on the ground getting attacked.
Okay. And you indicated that it was dark out, is that correct?
Correct,
And so you also indicated that you were stabbed,
correct,
but you're not sure as to how big the blade was, is that correct?
correct.
But you could identify someone sitting here next to me.
Yes,
Okay. And you indicated, do you remember talking with officers on the day of this offense?
barely,
Barely.
yeah,
Okay. And you were taken to the hospital though, correct?
correct.
Okay. And you talked to a detective at that point, is that correct?
He came into the room and I couldn't really talk to him at the time because I was in so much pain
Okay.
and everything that was happening.
Okay. So you did not give a description to the officer on that day, is that correct?
Correct, my son did, and I believe my wife pointed out the 2 kids that was walking by the house at that moment that
Okay, so do you recall those two kids that were walking by the house?
I don't recall because I was in the back of the ambulance.
Okay, so you personally could not identify those individuals, correct?
Nope.
Okay, and prior to this, today in court, you were never called to the station to identify anyone, is that correct?
Correct.
You were never called to the station to do a lineup, is that correct?
Correct.
You never were called to the station to do a 6-pack where there's 6 photos and you have to pick someone out, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you never personally identified Mr. Bruce as the person who attacked you until today?
Correct.
Okay. And you also indicated that there were 8 individuals. Have you been called to the station to identify any of those people?
No.
Okay, and there were multiple white males, correct?
Correct.
There was a male you indicated, or correct me if I'm wrong, there was an individual with dark brown hair, is that right?
It was not like dark brown hair. It was like a dirty brown hair.
If I were to show you a picture of the individual, would you be able to recognize them as one of the individuals involved?
It depends.
Okay. Judge, may I approach?
You may.
So I'm just gonna play like a couple seconds so you can recognize what it is.
Is this going to be admitted?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, do you recognize the scene that is shown in here, in this footage?
Yeah, I can see the scene.
Okay, and does this appear to be your street?
Yes, that's on the other side of the corner, yes.
Does the scene or the footage that you've seen in just a couple of seconds, does it appear to be altered or tampered with in any way that would not reflect accurately what we're just watching?
No.
Okay. So Judge. Okay, so I'm gonna start from, Judge, I'm gonna move to admit, this is Corporal Edding's body worn camera footage. It was taken on the date, it says 6/2/2025, 22:13 hours.
All right. Any objection
No
to the
objection.
admission? All right, this will be Defense Exhibit A. It's Corporal Edding's body worn camera.
Thank you.
Are you putting it on the, or should I just come I just want to see what I'm seeing since
Yeah,
it's
could
admitted.
you just come this way, Judge? Sorry.
So Mr. Collip, I'm just coming up next to you so I can see what you're seeing.
You're okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn the brightness up and the volume up. Okay, so I'm gonna start at 17 minutes and 39 seconds. I'm gonna stop at 17 minutes and 35 seconds. Is that the individual that you were indicating about the hair color?
I believe so, but I can't really remember because of the trauma and everything that was happening that day, but I can't remember the 2 faces that's in this courtroom.
Okay, so did you recognize this person as well, is that correct?
I know. It's really, really hard to see with that video like that. Being recorded. I'd have to see face to face.
Okay, and so again, you couldn't be 100% certain if this person was involved?
No, but the people on top of me that was right on top of me, stabbing me and hit me with a brick.
Okay, and then when you were being attacked, do you remember informing the police as to the position that you were in when you were being attacked?
I believe so.
And was that your legs were curled up to your chest and your arms were around?
I was on the ground. And then when I went to get back up, that's when they hit me on the left side with the brick.
Okay, and
When I was like a dog.
So, but can I ask, sir, I think, and I just want to make sure so the record's clear because he's making movements. She's asking like, did you have your knee, were you in what we would call a fetal position?
On the ground with
Yeah.
my back on the ground itself, basically, like
And you had your arms up to your chest, kind of covering your face and your chest?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay. And, with the alleged knife that was used, that was never recovered from your understanding, is that correct?
If you know, do you
I
know?
don't know.
Okay. And you never personally recovered this knife on your property, is that correct?
No, they kept running back and forth from down the street that where they lived at and throwing things back and then grabbing things from 2 houses down, like.
And so when you say they, it was just a collective of people?
Up to 8 people,
Oh,
including the
okay.
2 people that's in the courtroom today.
Okay, understood. I have no further questions, Judge.
Nothing for the people, Judge.
Okay. Who were the 2 people?
One in a red plaid shirt and there's another kid that's
Not in the courtroom.
exactly.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. The people have no further, one moment, Judge. No further questions from the people, Judge.
All right, can this witness be excused?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Gallup, is the other individual out in the hallway there?
Yes, he is.
All right, is he all set for the day? Can he go, oh, is he on, he's not on the other case. Can he leave the building is what I'm asking?
Yes, he can leave.
All right, so Mr. Gallup, I'm gonna have a court officer call downstairs if you can and just make sure that nobody leaves behind him. If there's another individual out there. But you're all set, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, when you come on up to the witness stand, I want you to stand and face me.
Okay.
And can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you can have a seat in that chair, and I want you to start by saying your first and last name and then spelling your first and last name.
My name is Nathaniel Lambert. It's spelled NathanIel. Last name is Lambert.
Counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Mr. Lambert. Were you at the location of 5990 Hampenden, Taylor, Michigan 48180 on the date of 06/02/2025?
Yes,
And that's in County of Wayne?
yes.
And at that location, what did you observe?
I observed that my dad was stabbed and kicked and he was hit with a brick and
Let's break it down. So what is this location to you?
that's my house.
And were you inside the house at the time when that incident you were describing occurred?
I was coming outside during that time.
And when you came outside the house, what did you observe?
I observed that my dad was on the ground with 8 people around him. They were stabbing him, kicking him, hitting him with a brick, anything that they could do to hurt him or almost kill him.
And when you say you observed your dad being stabbed and hit with a brick, did you observe a person who did that on that day?
Yes, I did.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Yes, he see.
Can you please point to that person and identify a piece of clothing they're wearing?
Plaid shirt.
Please let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Record shall so reflect.
So during this incident occurred, you observed the defendant stab your father.
Yes,
And did you observe the defendant hit your father with a brick?
yes.
And what did you do when you approached your father?
Well, I had grabbed the weapon from behind the door because we always keep a weapon for self-defense there. And I had went outside and I defended my dad as much as I could with the 8 people that was out there.
What position was your dad in when you observed the defendant stabbing him?
He was squirming around on the ground, trying to cover his head, anything he could do to try to cover himself.
And when you went to the area where your dad was being assaulted, were you assaulted?
Yes, I was.
And what happened to you?
I got a brick thrown at my right hand.
And do you see that person in the courtroom today who threw a brick at you?
Yes, he's here.
Can you please point to that person and identify a piece of clothing they're wearing?
Plaid shirt.
Please let the record reflect the witnesses identify the defendant who threw a brick at him.
Record shall so reflect.
And what did you do next?
I was just swinging the bat as much as I could to try to defend, and that's basically it. Everybody was just trying to hit me in. I was just defending as much as I could. My dad was on the porch after that. He was bleeding, and
Did you end up getting cut?
my right index finger got cut from the brick.
And did you contact the police?
Yes, I had told my mom before this even, or when it was happening, to call the police.
And did the police arrive?
Yes, they arrived like 15, 20 minutes later.
And did you talk to the police about what occurred?
Yes, I told them everything.
No further questions, Judge.
Cross.
Yes, Judge. On the day of this incident, you were in your room, is that correct originally?
Yes,
You were playing video games?
yeah,
You heard your father yell for help?
yeah, across the house.
Was he inside the house at that time?
I don't know where he was at. I was in my room, but it sounded like he was outside.
Okay, and so you went outside?
Yes.
Did you go out empty-handed at that time?
No, I looked out the door, and then when I seen all the people around my dad, doing all that stuff, I grabbed the baseball bat that was behind the door that we always keep there because we live in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So when you went out the door, you came out with a bat?
Yes,
Okay. And how many people were in the group? Would you say?
about 7 or 8, I'd say.
7 or 8?
Yeah.
Do you remember talking to a female officer on the night of this incident?
Yes.
Do you remember telling her that there were 5 in total?
Yes.
Okay, and then do you remember talking to Detective Hinenjosa at the hospital?
Yes.
And do you remember telling him that there were 6 people?
Yes.
Okay. When you came outside, you indicated that you had already witnessed your father being attacked, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, and you remember you indicated that you told the detective or the officers everything that happened, is that correct?
Yes.
And when you talked to them, you told them that there were large rocks, is that correct?
Boulders and bricks.
Bricks,
and, yes.
things of that nature, right?
Yes.
You never once told the officers about a knife. Would you agree?
No, I told him he got stabbed.
You did.
Yes.
So you didn't tell them that the male objects were holding objects such as a fence, a metal pole, and large rocks?
I told them everything. They were holding everything.
That's what you told them though, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so you would disagree with me that you told them that he was stabbed with a knife?
Can you restate that question?
You're disagreeing with me that you did not tell the officers that he was stabbed with a knife?
Did you tell the police your dad was stabbed with a knife?
Yes, I told them. Yeah.
Okay. And you did not recover this knife, did you?
No.
Okay. So you don't believe that he was stabbed with something other than a knife? It's possible, is that correct?
No, it's not possible.
It's not possible. He couldn't have been stabbed with something else?
He was stabbed with a knife for sure.
Okay. And it was very dark at this time, would you agree?
Yeah, it was dark.
Okay. And so when it was dark out, you couldn't technically make out everything that was going on, would you agree?
No, I seen that there was stabbing movements and hitting my dad and kicking him and everything.
What about the description of the people involved?
Well, there was 3 African Americans and at least 5 white people, at least.
Okay, and so there was 5 white people at least, is that what you said?
Yes.
Do you remember telling the female officer that there was 3 white males and 2 black males?
Yes, that's what I seen at the time.
At the
in
time.
my peripheral vision.
Okay, and then do you remember telling Detective Hinenjosa that there were 4 white males and 2 black males?
Yes.
Okay. Additionally, you told them that you would not be able, and you could not remember details about what they looked like. Is that correct?
Yes, it's hard to remember during that time.
Okay, it's hard to remember. Okay. And so you did, however, see a white male wearing a white t-shirt Would you agree with that?
Yes,
He had short, dark hair?
yes,
Okay. And you would agree that's not my client sitting next to me, correct?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? So you're telling me right now that you could not tell me the difference between the person that you identified on the night and my client sitting next to me?
No, I don't remember. I really
Okay.
don't.
So would,
It was
looking,
too broad that night. I mean, there was too much going on. At that point, I was too worried about my dad dying.
okay, so but what you're saying though is that, what you're saying is that there was too much going on so that you cannot positively identify my client.
I know that he was trying to walk away from the situation.
So he's trying to walk away?
When I pointed him out to the police, he
Okay,
was trying to run away.
perfect. So you'll recall that incident then, is that correct, of you pointing out someone? Correct?
Can you recite that question for me?
You just said that you pointed someone out in the street, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you would be able to recall that if I were to show that to you, that scene?
She wants to show you the video to see if you remember.
Show me the video, yeah.
Okay, it's the same video. Judge, may I approach?
Yeah, and I'm just going to come up so I can see as well.
Okay, so this is already admitted, so I'm just going to play it. I'm going to play it at 17 minutes and 37 seconds. Sorry, pausing.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't.
17 minutes and 53 seconds. So
I guess
this,
that wasn't.
Okay.
That was
okay.
definitely him right there.
But you're saying this is the person that you identified on the
That was
scene?
running away, I guess, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And then you also were never called to the station to do a lineup, is that correct?
No,
And you were never called to do a six-pack and point out a group of individuals that were involved in this incident?
no,
Okay, and so you've never identified Mr. Bruce as the person that attacked your father until today in court?
yes.
I have no further questions, Judge.
Just a few questions. Did you observe the injuries that your father sustained?
Yes.
And describe to me the injuries he had on his forearms.
Well, he has a gash right here, like about 6-7 inches. He has a bruise on the side of his lungs.
Left chest, okay.
Yeah.
And what, can you show me where the bruise where the injury that was 6 or 7 inches is?
Right here on his forearm. The
All right, left forearm, okay.
And I believe there's another one somewhere, but
Thank you. No further questions, Judge.
Any cross based on that?
Yes, Judge, give me 1 second. You said the left forearm, could you, sorry, I was sitting when you described it. Where at in your body would you say it was?
on the left forearm, right here.
Okay, so left forearm. So you've seen your father after this happened?
Yes.
Okay, would you be able to recognize a photo of him if you were to be able to see it?
Of who?
His father.
Okay.
May I approach?
You may. This is proposed defense exhibit B.
Proposed defense exhibit. Okay, would you agree that this is your, or I guess, do you recognize what it is that I'm showing you?
Yes.
Okay, that's your father, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and this is his state that he was in after the incident, correct?
Yes.
Okay, does it appear to be altered or tampered with in any way?
I'm not sure.
Does it look like what he looked like on that day?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I'm moved to admit defense proposed exhibit B into evidence.
All right, I'm just coming up to see it.
Okay. Judge, I'm just gonna zoom in. You would agree this is his left forearm? Would you agree that's his left forearm?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see a stab wound? I have no further questions.
One moment, Judge.
Is Mr. Gallup still here?
Yes.
Did the two of you drive together?
Yes.
I'm just looking for the photos of the judge right now.
While we're, just a brief pause in this while you're looking, Miss Richards, what do you have left?
I just have an afternoon exam.
Okay, okay. Sir, if you can come back on in and just, if you can come stand up here, can we just have everyone at the bench real quick? Mr. Gallup, come on up. You're gonna show me something. The three of you come on up. Can you lift your arms and show us both of your injuries there? And this one he's showing us right now is the left forearm. Okay. All right, and that looks like where the bandage was.
Yes.
Okay. And on the right arm.
Take your time, don't rip your shit.
Yeah, we're
We're
not
good,
in a
we're
big
good.
rush.
We're
Just,
not
we
in a
just,
rush.
I just need to see them. Oh, is it that?
That mark right
there.
Stick,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
Okay,
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Counsel, do you have any further witnesses?
the people have no further witnesses.
Ms. Segura?
Defense isn't calling any witnesses today, Judge.
All right, both parties rest. Any argument or,
Judge, people motion to bind over on all counts, count 1 and count 2. I don't think those are the counts that need to be argued in the situation. Count going to the assault with attempted murder. We have a situation where the defendant was on top of the victim, as the victim described, was his back was on the ground with his 2 forearms up, and his son came to his rescue with a baseball bat. The defendant hit him with a brick. When the defendant was stabbing the victim was using his forearms to block the defendant. In this situation, Judge, some people's argument that the defendant shouldn't be awarded for the victim to be able to block stabbing attempts at the victim, and where the defendant thus stopped the attack when his son came to the location and prevented further harm done to the victim. So the people motion to bound over on the assault with attempted to murder and both count 1 and count 2.
Ms. Segura?
Yes, Judge. So as to the assault with intent to murder, per the Michigan Jury Instruction 17.3, the third element is that they had to prove that the defendant intended to kill the person assaulted. Here, I don't think that the testimony rose to that level. We did see Mr. Gallup's scars, but those are in places that are not serious. I mean, obviously his injuries are serious, but it wasn't his throat, heart, some head, somewhere to where that could have killed him. I think assault with intent to murder is a bit of a stretch here, Judge. But more so, Judge, I think, and this goes to all elements, is that the people did not establish probable cause that Mr. Bruce was the one that committed the crime, simply because there was no out-of-court identification made prior to today. They indicated that they never were called to the police department to do a lineup. There was never a 6-pack done. Nathaniel Lambert testified today that he pointed out Mr. Bruce on scene by him walking away. And then I showed him the footage and he's like, oh yeah, wait, that's not the guy I pointed out. So clearly there is lack of identification here on all parts. We heard testimony today that he testified that there was 8 individuals, maybe 6 white males, 2 African Americans, but then he admitted and agreed that prior to this, he told the female officer on scene, Corporal Eddings, that there was 5 people in total, 3 white males, 2 black males, and then he told Detective Hinenjosa that there was 6 in total, 4 white males and 2 black males. His statement is completely inconsistent with what he testified here today to both officers. It's changed. They're elaborating this story. There's no evidence prior to, and they're not even charged the assault with dangerous weapon. There's no mention of a knife at all. The the weapons to wit was a brick and or rocks and or fence post. Nowhere in there did it mention a knife. Additionally, they testified that he was cut on the forearm, on the inner forearm. His son, so Nathaniel, he testified continuously that it happened on his inner forearm. And as you've seen, there was no injury there. So I think the whole recollection of the entire incident is foggy. Furthermore, Judge, they both admitted that there was no prior identification prior to today. That is beyond suggestive. To determine if a witness, they have to have independent basis for an in-court identification. And there's requirements laid out by the Michigan Supreme Court, and I can read those to you, Judge. So
What's the case?
it is People v. Posey. So the citation is very strange, but it was decided in 2023. And it states that evidence of an unnecessary first-time in-court identification procured by the prosecution implicates a defendant's due process rights in the same manner as an in-court identification that is tainted by an unduly suggestive out-of-court identification procedure employed by the police. Somewhat of like an on-scene identification. The courts have ruled that that's very suggestive. And here, there wasn't even an on-scene identification because they pointed out other man that is not before us today. And then
Wait, who was the person in the video?
that was not Mr. Bruce.
Okay.
That was another individual. Who Nathaniel Lambert had indicated that was my client prior to me showing the video. So he's mistaken about who
No,
that individual was.
we can review it, but my recollection of the testimony was that he said, no, I identified or pointed out the guy that was running away from the scene as one of the people, but he didn't say I identified the guy running away from the scene as the stabber. He was clear on that it was just one of the people involved in the incident.
Yeah, Judge. So what I recall testifying to is that he said that he was walking away from the scene, and I said, so you would be able to recognize that individual that you pointed out, and he said yes, and I showed the body cam footage, and he goes, oh wait, well that's not him, but he was walking away. That's what he said.
No, I guess that's just an interpretation of what he said, because
And that's fine, Judge.
I got from that he was saying he's not the defendant, but yes, he was the person I identified as running away.
Right. But either way,
But
Judge,
the transcript will speak for itself on that, I suppose.
yeah. What the main thing here, Judge, is that the in-court identification done here should not be accepted by the court because it's very suggestive. There was no independent basis prior to the in-court identification to make this up to par, so to speak. And the factors that the court should look at is a prior relationship with or knowledge of the defendant, the opportunity to observe the offense. This includes factors such as length of time, observation, lighting, noise, or other factors affecting sensory perception and proximity to the alleged criminal act. Length of time between the offense and the disputed identification, accuracy or discrepancies in the pre-lineup or show-up description and defendant's actual description, any previous proper identification or failure to identify the defendant, any identification prior to lineup or show-up of another person as the defendant, the nature of the alleged offense and the physical and psychological state of the victim, and then any other special features of the defendant. Here, Judge, we have none of that. So there was never a lineup done. There's no prior relationship or knowledge of Mr. Bruce. The opportunity to observe the offense based on these, the observation, it was very quick. Like they said, everything happened very fast. The lighting was very low. There must have been a lot of noise because there was 8+ people. And then other factors affecting sensory perception. I mean, this person's alleging that he was in the fetal position getting beat up by 8+ individuals. How can we be certain that Mr. Bruce was even there? And then the proper identification or failure to identify the client, the defendant, that never happened. There was no prior lineup or show up. So all of these things, Judge, is what the court must look at. And because we don't have any of that here, the identification, the only identification ever made was today of Mr. Bruce sitting right here. It should not be accepted. And so for that, I would argue dismissal.
All right, I'm reviewing. If you have something to say after my ruling, you can make your record, but I'm reviewing the factors. There's no evidence that the parties had a prior relationship. However, one of the other independent bases that the court can look at in the 8 factors is number 2 in People v. Posey, the opportunity to observe the offense. Particularly with the complaining witness here, Mr. Gallup. Mr. Gallup testified that he said, yeah, I probably couldn't this is my recollection of the testimony. I probably couldn't identify all of the guys that were attacking me, but the one that was, there were two of them that were on top of me, and he identified, Mr. Bruce as one of the two. He said they were on top of his body. And the one that was stabbing him, who he identified as Mr. Bruce, he was very clear that he could identify those two because they were literally on top of him during the offense when the stabbing took place. He indicated he was essentially straddling him, it sounds like, and he's looking at him while this occurred. He did say it was dark, but he was pretty consistent with his identification. He indicated the person in the video that was shown as defense exhibit A was not the individual that stabbed him. I would also note factor 3, the length of time between the incident and us being here today. This offense, this is not 2 years, and I believe that was the time frame in the case I'm looking at. There was a substantial time period. In the case in front of me, this happened on June 2nd, or is alleged to have happened on June 2nd, and we're at July 21st. So it's been 6 weeks, 7 weeks. It's not this lengthy period of time. I mean, it's certainly enough to establish a question of fact for a trier of fact. I mean, this is, the police didn't bring them in for a prior lineup. It doesn't sound like any lineups or show ups ever occurred. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Gotcha.
And, that might be a problem down the line, but for a probable cause hearing, I certainly think it's enough to pass the standard in front of us today. So, as I recognize there's an issue with identity, but I do think that there are factors in Posey that would support the identification. Based on the factors in the Posey case. So with that,
That's the all counts, correct, Judge?
I mean, I'm just talking about identity.
Oh,
I mean, but with respect to bind over on what is written in the complaint and warrant, you certainly have it. I think you're really on the fence with an assault with intent to murder. But I mean, I don't know that you've shown that intent necessarily to the extent needed, but I do think that a great bodily harm less than murder is appropriate. So I am adding a charge of assault with intent to commit great bodily harm. And that great bodily harm goes to the complaining witness, Mr. Gallup. Jerry Gallup. It's GBA 7508182.
Let me check, double check.
Pretty sure it's 82.
75.84.
8-4.
Thanks, Ross. Yeah, 750.84, 750.82 is felonious assault.
All right, so that's a felony punishable by up to 10 years in jail and a fine of not more than $5,000 or both. And, I have some concerns. I personally found the witnesses to be very credible in their testimony. And I understand that there are, some inaccuracies on how many people were at the scene. And I mean, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. But what does concern me here now is I have someone in front of me who's out on a bond, and I know there's a cash or surety that was posted. But have other things to consider when I'm addressing bond. And now I've got someone who's not charged with the felonious assault. They're charged with a great bodily harm, less than murder, a 10-year assaultive case. And I have the factors I need to take into consideration. Is there any allegations that you're aware of that he has had any contact or been near the complainants?
None that the people know, Judge. I could step to ask them. I haven't asked that question. But more importantly, Judge, the people would ask the bond to be changed as the witnesses have testified. The defendant has heard their testimony, knowing that that's their address where they live, that is their home. The people ask that the bond be changed due to, in light of circumstances of the.
Well, what concerns me is, I don't know what happened downtown, but he's had a firearms case at Third Circuit Court that was bound over to Third Circuit Court a year ago. Do we know what the status of that case
Judge,
is?
people don't. I can try.
Well, let's find
Yeah,
out.
that's fine.
I mean, is he on probation? He's
Oh, he
on
is on
probation for a firearm, carrying a concealed weapon?
Yes, Judge, that's what,
And then this case is alleged to have occurred while on probation for a CCW.
correct, Judge.
I mean, don't shake your head. Look, you got crocodile tears now. You made choices, sir, that put you here, that we have to have this
I
discussion.
understand.
So, Miss Segura, look, you have one of the best lawyers that appears in front of me. Let her do her job. So, Miss Segura, here's my concern: is I've got someone out on a bond. He's on probation for a weapons case, and he just picked up a GBH and 2 felonious assaults. I mean, it's clear to me that, at least based on these allegations and a criminal history of weapons, there's certainly an argument to be made that he's a danger to the public. I mean, it's an easy conclusion for me to come to. It really is.
Judge, what I would have to say to that is that Mr. Bruce's mom is here. She's been here for all of his court dates. She is his support system. I understand that the allegation, came out to be a GBH, and that is a serious crime. But as for his time on probation, so he is on HIDA probation. He has been regularly checking in with his probation agent. I did reach out to the court, since I do not have access to view the ROA, since it is under HIDA, that I double checked and made sure that whether there was a violation, they had.
I mean, I'm amending the bond. I think it's appropriate. It's the testimony I just heard was, what was interesting is was it because someone ran in front of his car? Like, I don't even know what brought this on. It seems to be a somewhat unprovoked attack. There's no, not that people need to prove a motive, but there was no testimony at all as to what really instigated this, or what caused these individuals and the defendant to rush this guy and assault him with a brick and a knife and bats and pipes and poles. I mean, the more I think about it, it's like maybe he should be have an AWIM. I mean, that's crazy. This guy was a tiny guy. He wasn't like a big giant man. He was a thin man, petite. I don't know if that's a word to use for a man, but he's not a large guy, and he's got at a minimum 5 guys rushing at him with poles, bricks, knives. That is alarming. But I also know that I don't see a conviction on that based on what I have in front of me. I mean, assuming all of the other issues were resolved. So I'm given the GPS, I'm raising the bond, it's appropriate given what I just heard. He has a $15,000 cash or surety with the GPS. He has a curfew of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
The current bond, was it 10,000, 10%?
No, it was 1,000 cash.
1,000 cash, okay. So his bond is 15,000.
I'll give him a $35,000, 10%. $35,000, 10% with a GPS tether and a curfew at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
But and all other bond conditions continue, but based on what I heard, I'm sorry, that bond is just too low. Mr. Bruce, you're gonna have to go downtown to be processed. I'm gonna tell you right now, you better clear that face up and put on your tough guy face. Put on the face you have when you're walking around with weapons and doing whatever else you're doing. Cause listen to me, if you walk into Wayne County Jail crying like you are right now, you'll have a rough time. And even if your mom posts that bond, you gotta get a GPS tether, pull it together. Anything else?
Nothing from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Can I say something?
I would not. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in this courtroom could be used against you, Mr. Bruce, after what I just heard. You're not changing my mind. Anything else?
Not regarding this case, but his other case.
Are we holding on the other case? Are we holding on the other case?
Yeah.
You talk to him, let me know.
Yeah. Do you want to just come do it?
Yeah,
after
just
lunch?
give Miss Maudlin and I, can we have until like maybe 1:05 or 1:10, so we
Yeah.
need something?
I would like to eat too, Judge.
Okay, let's all eat something,
Thank you.
and we'll be back.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.